Welcome to the poorhouse. I hope this works. I'm already off to a bad start because that was supposed to fade in and it totally did not, but it's whatever. Hey, welcome to the poorhouse. This is a live Poor Choices kitchen experience. My first solo live stream that I've done since, actually, honestly, really. I've been working in live streaming since 2014, but I've never actually soloed this. So what up, people? What up, Big Lawn Gnome? What up, 15 Point Buck 29? Apologies if my live streaming etiquette is off today. Charge it to my head, not my heart. A lot of things going on. Typically when I shoot Poor Choices on Saturday mornings, it's me scrambling, trying to figure out how to tell the story to educate you guys and entertain you. And so my brain is still kind of in that mode, which is why I have whiskey at, actually no, it's later in the day. Normally I'm doing this in the morning. But hey, my mic's a little bit quiet. Well, actually might be a little muffled. You know, we could turn that up. So this is a test. This is kind of a soft launch of what I'm trying to do here. I could turn this up just a smidge. Let's see, without breaking anything. A lot of you are following me in the last year from the Funhouse crew. I do not have as many screens or any of the professional equipment to do this. So apologies if I'm missing any of your chats and stuff. I got to jump back and forth between my Google Docs, which has my recipe and all my notes and stuff, and just chat with you all. But I wanted to do this just to kind of kick it with you all. It's been a while since I've been on camera because life has just been lifing in the last year, and I really wanted to get back in touch with y'all because everyone has different, oh, thank you. Thank you, is it Bayesian or Be-Asian? I want to know. But yeah, I want to get back in touch with you all because some of you want longer content, like when I first started this channel and I was just getting trashed on camera. I look back at those, I'm just like, wow, look how low my eyes are. And then a lot of you are cool with the shorter things because if you're like me, when I'm cooking, a lot of times I'm watching the video in real time, so I don't have time for the filler or the antics or anything like that. So I'm always just kind of curious if I can please both audiences. So this is kind of a test setup for it. We're gonna make some chicken wings today because I just went to Buffalo Wild Wings. I just had their Buffalo Blue sauce for the first time. Blew my mind, and I'm typically a garlic parmesan or a Thai curry kind of fan. And I'm also just new to blue cheese, so the fact that I love this says a lot about how good the sauce is. So we're gonna do a little bit of a copycat recipe here today. Hopefully my internet works according to all these citizen alerts. The internet's been going in and out. Hopefully my power stays on because in Los Angeles in the summertime when it gets hot, rolling blackouts tends to happen. So we're just gonna jump right into this. Oh, we are drinking, so I wanted to make a whiskey sour today. Everything that could have went wrong today did go wrong this morning when I was getting stuff prepped. So this is just some whiskey, it's Seagram 7 over ice with water. Don't worry, I didn't fill it all the way up to here with whiskey, although I am known to do that. But a whiskey sour, I'm telling you, would go perfect with this today. Forgot the lemons. I got here, started having some whiskey, and I was like, damn, I forgot the lemons. And I am not someone who ever gets back on the road after I drink, and I didn't feel like waiting for Instacart or anything. So we're just going to kick this off with a lot of mistakes because that's the fun of being in the kitchen. A lot of people get intimidated by the kitchen because they're afraid of messing up, but that's part of the process. Is how you get better. So I'm going to show you guys just a couple of things I got going on here today. We've got one camera, this is my main one. We've got this camera, which maybe not so flattering with my crotch in the shot. We've got over the stove. And then of course, if we ever start, getting down with shits and giggles, we've got you all on the computer, but we're gonna come back to here. So there's gonna be a lot of mistakes because I'm learning this whole new setup thing. I wanna start by just showing you all what we're working with today. So this is our sauce. So this is a really simple recipe. It should take you all of maybe 30, 40 minutes if you're BSing like I'm probably gonna do for this, but it's really, really fast. We're gonna address one of your biggest fears probably, which is frying. A lot of people are afraid of deep frying because the worst thing you want is burnt outsides, raw insides. Trust me, I was there until about a year ago and I was just like, you know what, screw it, I'm going to just jump into it. So we're gonna have a good time. Very simple, straightforward recipe. I think this cost me maybe all of $20 to do. So without further ado, let's jump into this. So I have got me here 2 pounds of party wings. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you want to save a lot of money, buy the wings whole, cut them up yourself. Like this was literally like $15 and the whole wings, same amount of, actually a little bit more, maybe like just around 3 pounds, was like $8. And the only reason why I didn't grab that is because there was a lady eyeing it at the meat the department, and I was just like, go ahead and take it. I'll get these wings. But really, got to be nerve watching having that on the counter. Yeah. It's a lot going on right here. That is like, I'm gonna work with this setup. Everything's gonna change. But just going back to the whole wings thing, like, you're gonna save a lot of money. Like, it's not just a few cents or a dollar. Like, it's right now it's almost double. So highly recommend that. And then as far as those wing tips go, I know it sounds crazy and people are like, do you really do that? Chicken stock. Like, all you take all those tips, get you some celery, some onion, what else? If you want to throw like bell pepper in there, I'm missing a couple other things. Like, just throw it all into a pot, big pot full of water, let it simmer for like 8 hours. You've got chicken stock. Portion it out into like cup proportions, put it in your freezer, and you've got a ton of chicken stock. And I do that all the time because when I'm cooking rice or if I'm cooking pasta, I'm always adding that flavor base in with chicken stock. So highly recommend doing that. It's worth the love and the time. But today we've got party wings, so we're gonna jump right into that. What up, Alex? You made my bourbon cabbage, 10 out of 10. Thank you. That was actually my first time making that. I've had tons of Southern cabbage, but I never made it. And that's what kind of really inspired me doing this. Like, all the recipes I'm gonna do on this live series, or if I do a cook with me, are probably gonna be me doing it for the first time, because I wanna experience that with you, make the same mistakes, make the same pivots, adjustments, and hopefully give you a better real-time testament to it. So glad you like that. I don't know what's coming out. Today just came out Caribbean ribs, party ribs in the oven, so you don't even need a smoker. So 4th of July can still be lit for you. This will be just the video that lives on the website. I probably won't have a video come out next week, but then after that, we're right into grilling season. And actually, I'm just making excuses because I haven't cleaned my grill yet. I have not deep cleaned it yet. I had to put it away for a few months because our old landlord was tripping. So it needs a lot of cleaning. I feel bad for any spiders or wasps that are living in there. So let me jump back into this. All right. So we got our 2 pounds, 2.5 really, you just want between 2 and 3 pounds. And we are going to start first with just a lovely little noise, lovely little cornstarch base. So let's see, does this work? Hey, look at me, shit. I'm like your local news now. That's pretty cool. Whalers, hey, you're gonna love those ribs. Like, anything jerk Caribbean, you cannot mess it up. It's so full of flavor versus like your traditional barbecue. You got to do a lot to kind of balance that sweet and heat. Anything Caribbean is always perfect. So let me just jump off this real fast. We're going to pull up. It's going to be a lot of me looking down. We're going to pull up my notes because I want to get this up. All right. Let's jump into this. Let's get the right one. Hey, look at me. It's the little things that make me really happy, y'all, if you can't tell. So we're gonna get this started with a little bit of garlic powder. We're gonna go with 1 teaspoon. And normally I kind of freehand things. Of course, I have the noisiest spoons today. Normally I would freehand things, but when I'm testing a recipe, I would like to always be able to say that I did it exactly as it was advised to me. So that's what we're gonna do today. I don't know if you all are Redditors, but I follow this Reddit called I Didn't Have Eggs. Hold on, let me see if this works. I'm gonna try something on the fly. I hope I don't break this. We're gonna take this down and then we're gonna try to do this. Hey, look at me. Now I'm in the top corner. I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't know I could do that. It just said a template. That's pretty cool. All right, cool. We're working. Although I do actually want to see what I'm doing because I was using this pretty good. All right. Lost my train of thought just that fast. We're gonna go with a 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. Oh yes. So I follow this Reddit called I Didn't Have Eggs, and it's pretty much people posting. Oh, this onion powder has got to go. We're gonna grab a different onion powder. It's people posting their reviews of recipes, but when you read the review, you start to realize that that person did not do the recipe at all. Like, they changed everything up. They completely swapped out this and that. They skipped and ignored techniques and whatnot. And so they always end up giving like 1 star and not recommend it. And everyone's always just like, you didn't do the recipe. And so that's why if you've been watching my videos, I go hard on some of the things where I'm just like, do not make a substitution for this. Please do not, because you're gonna come back and be really mad that you made that substitution. I cannot vouch for it being my recipe at this point in time. So today I'm gonna follow my own advice We got some smoked paprika. I'm gonna tell you all about my smoked paprika journey. I'm gonna follow my own advice and do everything by the measurement, but if this comes out really good, trust and believe, I will probably make adjustments next time. So we're going on with some smoked paprika, and if you've been wondering why every recipe of mine has smoked paprika lately, it is because smoked paprika is actually pretty expensive, except last year when it was on sale at the store for buy one, get one free. So I racked up on it. And that is why everything has been having smoked paprika in it lately, because it is actually one of my favorite seasonings. A little ASMR for y'all, a little cooking ASMR. All right, we got the smoked paprika. We've got some mustard powder. If you don't like mustard, don't worry. This is not going to make everything taste like mustard. Mustard is one of those secret things that just kind of enhances a lot of other stuff. So like I use mustard powder all the time. Hold on, let me see. I use mustard powder all the time, like mac and cheese. It's pretty much anything cheesy when I really want to emphasize that cheese flavor. And you've probably been having a lot your entire life and didn't realize that. But this is going to enhance the kind of the blue cheese ranch flavor that we got going on with this. And now you're going to start seeing my scatterbrain part, because now I'm just like, man, normally when I do poor choices, I'm like, I got my music going and all that. And I wish I was big enough to do music here, but I'm not, because I will get that copyright strike real fast. So that was our mustard powder. That was the 4th teaspoon there. Yeah, W sauce and W sauce. I use W sauce all the time. That is a great umami booster. Black pepper, we're gonna go with a 1/2 teaspoon of some coarse black pepper. And then later on, we're actually going to go with some fresh cracked black pepper. And you might think that they are the same thing, but very different experiences. One obviously being way fresher than the other, a lot more coarse, a lot more coarser, I should say, but really, really good. We got that. We need a 1/2 teaspoon, no, we need 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. So I'm gonna add that in. And I wish I had a fun, interesting fact for y'all about why kosher salt and not just regular table salt, but just trust me, kosher salt is what you want. That's really what you want to cook with. Table salt's more like you've already sat down at the restaurant, the fries are trash, and you need to add more salt. That's what you go with. If they sell the Badia brand spice at your store, they actually do. They sell the full-size bottle of smoked paprika. Hey, okay, good to know that. I'm actually going to try to grab that soon. I mean, yeah, I love smoked paprika before. Let me look at y'all. I love smoked paprika before I got it on sale, but now being able to have it on sale is even better. Especially because like I like to do a lot of recipes on my grill, but you all don't have grills, so I don't want to force you to have to get one, or I don't want to discourage you from getting one and being like, oh well, I don't have the grill, so I can't do that recipe. I think we got one more thing to add back in here. Yes, the best part, the 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Now I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm probably gonna go a little bit more. Maybe like 1.5 tablespoons, just because it is a lot of wings. And we can kind of adjust this. Cornstarch is going to give us some great crispiness. And if you don't have cornstarch, you can use flour. You can use potato starch. You can do a combination of cornstarch and flour. It's kind of all up to you. That's the beauty of cooking. And we're just going to whisk that up real fast, get everything evenly distributed. And I'm almost positive we might need a little bit more. Now, this isn't going to be a thick type of coating. We would have way more flour. We'd probably introduce some egg and stuff like that. This is just kind of get the skin crispy. And then let me do this real fast. Sorry, burping. That's the only bad part about me drinking is it's going to be some burps. Because I'm touching very expensive equipment, I'm going to go through a lot of gloves. A lot, so much that I'm going to say, hey, there's a Patreon link down in the description. $1 a month is all we ask for. You can always pay more, but like, it's not just the ingredients. It's like stuff like cleaning supplies and gloves and whatnot. So all that little bit helps. So we're just going to start with, I don't know, maybe half of this, 1 pound, because I'm by myself today. Normally when I do poor choices, there's people back here and stuff. I got to remember this is my mark. There's people back there and stuff, and you know, they're going to eat the food because I don't like food going to waste. So I'm going to start with this pound, see how much I have left, and if there's not enough. Did I pick a community name? Poor people. I should have said that. It's either going to be poor people or po folk, poor folk, because my country ass loves to say folk. Y'all may not know that I'm country, but it comes out every now and then. So it's going to be either poor people or poor folk. I'll figure out which one's more endearing to you all, but we're going to go with those two right now and see what sticks. So I've got, actually, I can get a few more in here. I mean, I say I'm not going to eat all these, but let me have a few more drinks, and that could easily change throughout the day. Let's try this. And you want to get this coated as much as you can. And one thing I do like to do, if I had more seasoning or more breading on here, I guess you would call it, I would actually take these and I would squeeze each one, just because you want to get it in all those crevices. Let me go up on a little closer here. You want to get it in those crevices that, like, this little, it's real easy for this little flap of skin right here to just kind of like be folded over, and then there gets no seasoning there. And even though it's a small little piece that may not have seasoning, that might be someone's first bite and their first impression of your food. So I try to get everything as thoroughly coated as possible. You know, we are gonna go with all the wings. At some point, sometime today, someone is going to show up here. And as far as these live streams go, my plan is to, you know, bring friends on, bring, you know, some of the Funhouse people on, some of the streamers I've met over the years, maybe get a celebrity or two in here, just have a good chill vibe with y'all. It's really what it is all about. All right, I think these are good and coated as much as they can be. And then one little thing we're gonna do, let me go back here. Let me move this out the way over here real fast. One thing that is not necessary, but I recommend it just to, you know, it's all about consistency, and the eating experience is very important when it comes to cooking. I wanna hydrate these for a little bit, which really just means let the chicken wings just hang out for like 10, 15 minutes. You don't have to worry about them getting in any type of danger zone or anything like that. They're gonna be super, super fine. In fact, we don't wanna put ice cold or just super chilled wings in the oil, because it's just gonna make cooking them evenly more difficult, more challenging. Again, not impossible, but just more challenging. And again, the eating experience, it's that texture, it's that crunch, it's that, man, there's something different about this that is, I can't quite put my finger on it, that we wanna get. So we're just gonna throw these on a wire rack. You don't have to have a wire rack, but the reason why I like it is because it lets the air circulate underneath it. And again, this is, you know, we're not gonna do the full 10, 15 minutes. We're probably just gonna do long enough for me to check the oil and make sure that my stove didn't turn off. But it's gonna really, really help. If you don't have it, like that platter I just had, like I could have dried it off and put it on there. But I think this really helps, again, just getting the air circulating around it. It's a little bit less surface area touching it, so things aren't going to rub off. And the biggest benefit of doing this is going to be that, sorry, I was about to sneeze. You're gonna get a better skin that stays on. That's like the biggest thing. I'm all off screen and everything. Damn, what am I doing? What up? Let's see. Big Lano, you can be posted. Oh yeah, what up? It's real good cooking vibes. I love to see. I want to get Lindsay. Well, Lindsay's not in LA anymore, but when she comes back, I'll definitely get her on here, because we had such a good time filming with Ryan. And Ryan for sure is going to get in here. I actually think I'm going to try to get Ryan to make beef Wellington, which I've never made before, but it's like one of those recipes that's, I don't know if it's hard or people just get scared about it because Gordon Ramsay made such a big deal, but that would be a hilarious episode of Poor Choices to do. So as I was saying, this is gonna help the skin just stay crispy. Again, this is not the thickest coating ever. If you want a thicker one, you could have added more cornstarch, more flour and whatnot, but this is just an experiment. Let's not get too crazy, unless, you know, y'all start getting crazy in the chat and encouraging me to do certain stupid things. So we're gonna let this hang out while I check our oil temperature. Oh, see, already splattering things everywhere. That's not good. I'm gonna have to change this entire setup. There's so many things. I mean, look, honestly, look at this. This is not like my old kitchen that I first started with Poor Choices. Let's see. Look at all this. Look at all that. I don't know what to do with that. Like, should I put like a colored light over there or like fog? I don't know. That's actually just where all my like spices and Poor Choices stuff is at, but like, I don't know. I gotta do something with this. It's not the ideal setup. My old place was a lot better, but our old landlord was tripping and wilding a lot, so we just got up out of there. I'll tell you that story at a later time. So let's go over to our, actually no, I forgot, we got to make this sauce. Let's go over to the stovetop real quick. Let me just get my whisk over here. So that's turned on. We're gonna try this. Does it work? Hell yeah, let's throw this up there. All right, so this is gonna be our buffalo blue sauce. Buffalo blue sauce. Again, I just had it for the first time at Buffalo Wild Wings. It was absolutely amazing. Here we go, you see my hand, I'm here and present. So really this is just melting and warming everything together. We are going to get our burner on low heat. Now I'm actually going low because I'm working with stainless steel. And stainless steel, if you've ever worked with before, it just holds heat to the end of the world. You burn and scorch many things. So I'm actually going low, but on a regular stove, medium low, whatever temperature I say when I'm using stainless steel, go one up if you're using non-stick. If you're, again, with me, trust me, I've set off many alarm here. So we can go back over there. Sauce time, yes, that's right. So we got a low heat going. I might just go a little bit higher than low. This is the only thing that sucks about this setup is like now my back's turned to you, so I can't really see. I need to get another monitor going. So while that's kind of momentarily heating up, hey, y'all. I tell myself I try not to get too much filler going with this because someone's gonna watch this afterwards. And hopefully you're watching this just like in the background chilling. If you are trying to watch this with the intent of making this in real time and just like not wanting to hear me, I will have this recipe up on poorchoiceskitchen.com, so you can just pull that right up and not have to hear me stutter and do dumb shit. So there you go. What up, folks? Hey, tell me, is there any type of delay or anything? I'm using this Rodecaster video, which is really doing all the heavy lifting for me. But I know in previous iterations, where's mine? There we go. In previous places I've worked at where we've done live stream, we've always had to introduce delays. We've had to do a whole bunch of testing. That's really why I'm doing this, is to make sure everything's working. I'm not going through an OBS. I'm just going straight out of the Rodecaster into the YouTube. Like I don't even need my laptop here. I just have it to do a little bit more customization. But the Rodecaster, if you're getting in live streaming, can do everything straight up from it. So highly recommend it. I've been having a lot of fun. Can't wait to do a few more things with it, go wireless and all that. Because I'm so late to streaming. Even though I've worked in it since 2014, I've never really streamed myself because I just couldn't imagine sitting down. Sorry, seeing this heating up. I couldn't imagine sitting down playing video games for like 8 hours and that's just brutal. But then now that I'm working with A&P and I see the different variety of streamings that you can do, the IRLs and whatnot, I'm like, oh, okay, I can get down with this. So now I'm like, yeah, let's get on this live stream thing. Let's have a good time. I'll probably most likely, what up, Religan? I'm still using your logo. I hope you know that. But I'll probably start doing these like Friday nights. That seems to be like a good time to go live because I don't know if you all want to cook with me in real time or if you just want to just vibe out. But we'll see what's going on here. I think we are good enough. So let's jump over to here. We're gonna go, boom, camera 3. And we're gonna start with about 6 to 8 tablespoons of butter. Unsalted, because we can salt it later. We always want to be able to control your salt. Only time I ever use salted bread is salted bread. Only time I ever use salted butter is if I'm like putting it on bread because I want that salt. But when I'm cooking with it, I for sure want to be able to control my salt to my liking because you never know. Somebody might have dietary restrictions and whatnot. So just being able to have that ability to customize it to your liking is really good. It's not the end of the world if you use salted butter, but you run the risk of oversalting, which is not fun. One of the fun parts about the show is I'm going to be doing like a lot of real-time research and just kind of getting feedback. And I have not figured out the solution to oversalting. You can't take it out. You can only put it back in. You can only put it in. All right, let's go back to the stove. So our butter's melting. We're going to add in, what are we going to add in? What do I have up there? Half a cup of Frank's RedHot Original. Frank's RedHot is the original like buffalo sauce, hot sauce. So that's why I always go for it. I don't think it's particularly a crime if you use another hot sauce, but somebody might say something. I won't. I won't. But then again, I'm also someone like if I'm making a Louisiana style recipe, I'll use a Crystal or a Rooster, something that actually says that it is Louisiana. So maybe I shouldn't encourage you to take that many liberties. All right, we've got our Frank's hot in, we've got our unsalted butter in. We are going to add in a tablespoon of distilled white vinegar. I actually am going to measure this because certain things like vinegars, liquid smokes and whatnot, they can, let me not put this cornstarch in here. They're overpowering. You know, just like certain spices are, like rosemary and to some people cilantro. So, oh, cool, good to know. I'm worried about the ASMR in this. So certain things that just are strong in flavor to me, I want to definitely measure, and measure twice, cut once. So before I actually pour this in, I'm gonna look one more time and make sure that was a tablespoon. Yes, tablespoon, there we go. I'm gonna pop that in, and then we're gonna get down into our garlic powders. We're gonna go with a half teaspoon of garlic powder. And I don't know if anybody else has been to, no, that's not garlic powder. This is garlic powder. Been to Buffalo Wild Wings lately, but man, if it just wasn't so expensive, I'd be there all the time. I don't know if y'all ever went to Buffalo Wild Wings like in the early 2000s. They used to have like 40-cent wing nights for college students and stuff like that. Like I used to go to Buffalo Wild Wings all the time. It's just a little bit more garlic powder. So there's just a little bit left. All right, so that was our garlic powder. And then they stopped doing it. And then for some reason, wings just became the most expensive thing in the entire world. And that got really annoying for someone like me because I'm like, this is poor people food. Why are y'all eating this? Go back to eating your steaks and shit. But I digress. Actually, I want to blame Wingstop for making wings super expensive. 4th teaspoon of onion powder. And again, we're still on a low heat. Freaking Eddie, yes, every Monday you get the lunch special. Yeah, it was great. Like now, like, how much, like 10 wings is like, I feel like $20. Think about this. Look at this. Let's go to this. Look at this. One of these should not cost over $1. It shouldn't cost anywhere $1. This is like a booger, okay? It's mostly bone. There's no reason that it should be costing that much. Yet here we are, here I am, I'm projecting. Here I am paying that much and it drives me crazy. Oh, one thing I wanna point out real quick. If you are a heat lover, optional pinch of cayenne pepper in both this seasoning and the sauce. I'm not gonna add it, but just a pinch, like not a real measurement, just pinch. Flats all day. Flats all day fried hard is what I prefer. I don't get mad if, you know, I gotta eat the party pack, but I would much rather eat flats. Let's go back to the stove. We're gonna add some fresh cracked black pepper in here. You're gonna notice the texture of it is way more coarse than even the pepper I was using earlier. You just need a few grinds. And this is just, again, for texture, but also for freshness. Sometimes the best recipes are just simply because they are really, really fresh. So we're gonna give this just a mixture. We're not gonna add our blue cheese dressing in just yet because I don't want this sauce to potentially break. Now, right now, we just have a buffalo sauce. Like right here, you're done. This is buffalo sauce. In fact, when I taste it, oh, ooh, that's so good. Almost could use some more butter, says the fat man. But we're still on a low heat. We've got a very delicious buffalo sauce going. And I'm just gonna let that warm through a little bit more. And then we'll add our buffalo sauce, sorry, our blue cheese off the heat so that it doesn't keep cooking, it doesn't break and all that. Woo, some of the sauces are good. Yes, Thai curry is the best one. Garlic Parmesan is still #1 to me, but Thai curry, like, I have to get both, either 1A and 1B, honestly. And then after that, their buffalo's still pretty good. I haven't had their lemon pepper. I like lemon pepper wet, and I think they just added that, but everyone's lemon pepper isn't made the same. Just like everyone's garlic Parmesan isn't made the same. I'd rather a wet garlic Parmesan than the actual garlic powder and Parmesan cheese that some places do. I'm pretty sure that's what Wingstop does, and I'm not a fan of it. It makes the chicken look ashy. You know, it's a weird reason to not like food, but it does. Wendy's honey garlic sauce. Have I had the honey garlic sauce? I don't think so. I have. Might have to order some Wendy's today. All right, this feels pretty good melted through, so I'm going to make a little bit of room here. Let's bring this over so I don't. Dry Cajun's good. Louisiana rub, Wingstop. We're talking all the wings now. Now you're speaking my love language. Louisiana rub is really fire. I don't think I've had Cajun from, let's turn this off, from Buffalo Wild Wings yet. Again, I go there sparingly because it just got so expensive. So let's take this off so you all can see my ugly there. because I don't have a lot of room to move everything over. It's in Canada. Actually, you've got it in, yeah. You know what? I don't think we do. Just as I learned when I went to Europe 2 years ago, that they have a lot of curry, like sauces at McDonald's and Burger King and stuff like that, and it was all delicious. And I was like, this would kill here in America, but we don't have it. I don't know why. All right, let's get our blue cheese, our chunky blue cheese. Sometimes I say get the cheapest thing and it doesn't really matter. And other times, if it's like a major part of your recipe, get a good one. Ken's Steakhouse, chunky blue cheese. I would recommend it just because this is kind of like the basis for the recipe. Well, actually, technically buffalo sauce is the basis for this recipe, but you really want a good blue cheese. I don't know what bad blue cheese tastes like. I don't want to find out. So let's bring this back up real quick. Let's see. What did I say? What did I write down? A third cup of blue cheese. I do all this research all week, only for me to just not retain any of it. Oh, poutine is so good. I love poutine. Although I will say I'm not always the biggest fan of cheese curds, not because of the flavor, it's the squeakiness. I don't like the squeakiness. I don't like my chewing to make more noise than I'm already making. All right, we're gonna pop this blue cheese in. It's kind of how I feel about green beans. Like I love green beans, but like sometimes they're just way too squeaky. And now we're just gonna mix this in. And again, we're just doing this off the heat so it doesn't keep cooking, so it doesn't break the sauce. And it shouldn't take that long to do this. And one of the most important things that I always tell you all, taste. Taste when you can. Obviously, if it's raw things, don't do that. I'm sure you know that. I don't need to tell you. But what's really gonna save you a lot and let you know how to make adjustments is just taste. It'll let you know like, oh, this is what something tastes like when it doesn't have enough salt. This is what something tastes like when it doesn't have enough acid or too much acid. You just taste as you go. And when it comes to salt, I always just tell people if you're scared of oversalting, you can start with pinches or you can start with 1/8 teaspoons at a time, just adding in. Because some things just really, really need. Oh yeah, it's getting nice and creamy. I don't know if I can show this to you. I don't think I have the capability. Oh wait, yeah, I do. What am I talking about? I'm the weatherman. Here we go. Right, there's our sauce. And it's still got some chunks of blue cheese in it, which is good, but the sauce is still together. Let's give it a little taste real quick. Pinky. Oh my God. I'm not exaggerating that. It's really, really good. Hey, all right. So one thing we want to do now is just keep this warm. So I'm just going to take my lid, pop it on, just so it doesn't break. Now, if you find yourself in the chance of, let's go back here. If you find yourself in a chance where like maybe something happened, baby started crying, you had to use the bathroom, and your sauce has like solidified because there is that butter in there, just warm it back up. You don't have to panic. But again, taking it off the heat, like not just turning the heat off, taking it off the heat. Remember, these grates still are holding a lot of heat. So you want to stop that process as best as you can. All right, blue cheese is out the way for now. Let's see. Cheese curds can be a turn off, yes, and acceptable substitute. Monster, see, I like that. There's a place near me that has short rib poutine. Amazing, phenomenal. They use a mixture of cheese curds and mozzarella, and then they hit it with the torch on top to get everything nice and melty. Delicious. That's what I really, really like. Spin sauce with the Swedish fry, the same thing, but instead of vinegar, add some brown sugar. Ooh, okay. I like all these suggestions that are coming through here. It's funny enough, I'm probably gonna have to watch this back and just read all the things you all are saying so I can incorporate and try these things out. All right, so our sauce is good. Let's try something dangerous real quick, and I want you to see me if I fail. So this is my little overhead rig here. I don't have a sexier way of getting this shot. It's just always gonna be there. And if you've been watching like the last 10 Poor Choices videos, you've probably seen the foot in it. There's nothing I can do about it. Not for right now, not in a place that I can't like drill a hole into the wall and rig stuff up. So what I'm hoping to do without breaking this is just slide this over. There we go. Get that nice and centered. How are we looking on the camera right here? Let's see. Bam. Look at that sexy leg. Look at it, just ankles out and everything. All right, so we're gonna check the temperature of our oil real fast. Normally I would use a deep fryer. Not normally, I always use a deep fryer, but I don't want to always have to make you buy things that you don't want to own afterwards. Although No one ever said that they're mad at their deep fryer. So we're gonna do this in the Dutch oven. We're gonna check the temperature. This is my Thermopin from ThermoWorks. We're gonna see what the temperature is at. I might need to crank this up because I did overshoot the temperature. So we're aiming for 350. So right now I have it on low because this holds heat really well. So we're gonna crank it up to like a 3 on my stove and then give it just a few minutes. Just wanna get to 350. This is like the perfect, ooh, that was my stomach right there. It's like the perfect temperature range for frying wings, between 350 and 375, because your outside doesn't get too dark. I think we all dread like the fried chicken where it's perfectly cooked, but the outside is dark. And my research has shown me that that's usually the fault of paprika, just regular paprika. It burns pretty easily. But our worst nightmare is that we don't cook it all the way through. And we get it out, we sauce it up, we bite into it, and there's this pink. So having it nice and even, also as well as having this meat probe is perfect. This is a good instant read one, ThermoWorks. I will try to find an affiliate link or something like that for you all to get it. But like, if you want consistent results every single time, definitely get you a meat thermometer. Do not let anybody shame you into poking your meats and things and be like, oh, you should know how to do it without doing that. Like, no, like you want consistent results. That's really kind of got me into cooking. And sometimes I'd make the best spaghetti in the world and then I'd make it 2 weeks later and I'm like, this is not as good as that last one. What was I doing wrong? Consistency is key. That's why the big chefs in the world are big, because they can cook it like the back of their hand, consistent every single time. Reputation. If you're drinking on a Saturday, have a cheers with me. All right. Oh, now imagine if I could put this on like a roller thing and just have it automatically go back and forth, like how like the automatic blinds go. And that's some high production value. Although right now I'm actually being poor. We're just gonna have to do it that way. So let's go check on our temperature, because I'm actually curious, can you even see my thermometer? Yeah, you kind of can. Yeah, cool. All right, 230, so let's crank this up just a little bit more so I don't have you here all day watching me fiddle with my stove. This is a brand new stove because our old one would randomly turn off. And there's been a lot of things going on with this new place. But overall, I like it. All right, we're not quite there yet, so we're just gonna crank it back to that 6 for like a minute or so. And I'm just gonna talk to you all. Kick it with you. This is the whole point of live streaming, right? How y'all been since Funhouse went down, right? I haven't checked on you. Y'all have checked on me, or at least watched what I've done, but I haven't checked on you. How goes it? I'll wait for the chat to come up, because I just went away real fast. There we go. How have y'all been? You know? The internet is such an interesting place. So I have been content creating, this makes me sound so old, for 20 years. As of this year, as of April of this year, my first video I ever made, back in 2005, it went viral. And from there, I was just right into the industry at the beginning of people like pulling in digital creators and trying to dip their fingers into that water and whatnot. It's been crazy watching how it has evolved, but also how it has expanded. Like the internet is legit like the universe. It's just so massive. There are parts of the internet that I'm just now discovering, and I'm just like, yo, this is a thing that people are into. And oh, wow, this is the thing I misunderstood, or I didn't know it came back in full force. So it's just crazy seeing like how streaming has taken off the way that it has, with it just, again, the introduction of more than just gaming. There's IRL, there's so much stuff just chatting. It's truly awesome, especially coming from the days of when I used to watch, was it Justin TV is what Twitch used to be? Like I remember seeing that back in like, was it 2013, 2014? Or I get my years wrong. But to see what it is now, I'm just like, man, to get in on the ground floor of that. But I'm happy to see how content is going. YouTube is a way different game now than it was when I started at Funhouse in 2018. Like getting out last summer and just being like, whoa, this landscape is completely different. I blame a lot of it on TikTok because no one seems to be able to pay attention for more than 5 seconds. But what a wild landscape it is. Let me see how y'all doing. Yeah, man, I love that they're doing Astro. I keep wanting to call it Astro Globin, even though it's Astro Goblin. It's just me and just being stupid. My personal favorite dish to make for myself, believe it or not, is just spaghetti. A good jar spaghetti spaghetti noodles, and then turkey, ground turkey, turkey kielbasa sausage. I'm an adult now, but I used to put sugar in there just to sweeten it up, like in my early 20s. I can't do that now because I'll chop my foot off now and send me to the hospital. But that's my favorite one. That's my go-to. Outside of that, burgers, barbecue just in general, but yeah, spaghetti, that's the thing. I'll probably make some next week, just so I'm not spending money right before the 4th of July cookout. Let's see. This works, cool. Sorry, y'all. Every now and then I've gone back and watched a lot of like Funhouse stuff and just noticed like how different we were editing versus how everything is now. Of course, everything else is like that. It's just super fast. We're gonna check our temperature real quick. Everything else is super fast because they're trying to keep up with TikToks and retention and all the crazy data bros that are out there. But I miss, being able to take the time and experiment with content. Like that was one of my favorite things about being at Funhouse and just Rooster Teeth and the internet in general. Was just like people were just willing to take a chance and try things. And now, again, I understand the business side of it, but I miss a lot of the creativity. And if you're new just turning into this is what we're making. We're making buffalo blue wings. I feel like I should come in every now and then and remind you guys what we're making. Remind myself what I'm making. Hey, I'm glad Funhouse was an institution of joy for you. And no, it's not cheap. Listen, that was legit my favorite job of all time. Is now Funhouse. I used to joke and say it's my second favorite job because the stuff I was doing for Adult Swim when I was writing for them and everything, that was a lot of fun. But that was the spirit of Funhouse, which is just like, let's just try things. One of the cool things about Adult Swim is like most networks do testing with their shows, and Adult Swim was just kind of like, let's just feel the vibe of it, and then we'll find an audience for it. Like that's kind of just what they went for, and not the crazy politics that normally are in Hollywood. So when I got to Funhouse, and everything was just like, what's the Funhouse way of doing this? Let's just experiment and just see what sticks. That's what kept me there and made me fall in love. Because believe it or not, I thought I was only going to be at Funhouse for just a little bit because it was in a weird transition phase where like I just happened to join 2 back-to-back companies that went under like almost immediately as I got there. And then when I joined Funhouse, I actually had just pitched the show to BET and they were really, really into it. You're going to notice a pattern here. They're really, really into it, like talking with the president. We're talking about directors and all sorts of things and how we can do it. We had a showrunner attached. Like I just knew any day I was gonna have to leave Funhouse and go start on this show. And then just like the 2 companies back to back that failed, everybody at BET got fired. And this is the second time that's happened. I pitched the show back to BET back in 2008. They loved it. We were in talks about doing things. No ink dried, and everybody got let go. Gotta love Viacom, right? Or is it CBS now? But yeah, so I ended up staying at Funhouse, and it's the best decision I ever made. I almost went to Machinima, and funny enough, they closed down like 6 months after I had joined Funhouse. So this has been a great journey. And like my dad passed shortly after I joined Funhouse, and the way the team just came around me as if I had been there for like 10 years was like solidified. I was like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm here with the ship till it goes down. And despite all the ups and downs, I was like, no, this is home for me. I'd still be there to this day, regardless of pay or whatever it is. I miss that. It was such a great place to be and really, really good people. Let's see. It's funny? I'm always afraid of the Dick in the Blender song coming back to haunt me. I love it. I had such a great time making it, but now people snooping stuff on the internet before they want to hire you for jobs. And I don't want to wait for that. So explain the Dick in the Blender thing. And I'm like, well, that's what it is. Put your dick in a blender. Like, it feels good. All right, we're almost there with the oil, folks. We're getting close. Got to crank it up just a little bit more. I might let it cool off a little bit, but that's okay. Because wow, it's been 54 minutes with 10 of it just being me making y'all watch my starting soon screen. This is cool. No new dogs in my life. I'm not ready to go back down that road. Also, I enjoy having like clean furniture, clean sheets and all that stuff. Not having to go out in the middle of the night in the winter when it's raining to walk them. Or I could just up and go. Like I just randomly went to Vegas this week for a WNBA game. And now I'm back here before I'd have to coordinate getting a sitter, all that stuff. So I missed my dogs. It was rough 2024, like losing both my dogs to kind of bookend it. Funhouse shutting down, turning 40 wasn't bad, but it happened. but not yet. I think maybe 2-3 years, just enjoy this kind of freedom. Then I'll get back into it. But I do miss my homies. Like I love them to death. I might have to get that. I have to get some Wingstop as well. I'm gonna change what I'm gonna order like 50 times before this stream ends. What else was that? So the show. No, do I want to talk about? Well, yeah, ain't nobody doing it. The show, the first show, both shows were BT were sketch comedy shows, and the second one was called 21 Sketch. 21 1-minute sketches. It was when all the Instagrammers and Viners were doing, you know, essentially those short sketches and whatnot. And I happened to just be in the middle of all of them because I was shooting a lot of their stuff and writing, directing, producing it. So I was like, I went to BT's like, I have literally all the biggest Viners and Instagrammers here ready to do stuff. I've got this showrunner who knows he was a writer for Fresh Prince back in the day, and he's been a showrunner for a bunch of your shows. And it was just like peanut butter and jelly just coming together. But unfortunately, they were going through a leadership change at the time. And if you ever work for a corporation during a leadership change, that's one of the scariest times to be there because your job is not guaranteed. New regime comes in, they want to make their own mark. And, you know, unfortunately, all those people that we pitched to that were so in love with the show ended up being let go. Maybe only 1 or 2 stayed behind, but it wasn't enough to get our show back on there or back front center. So that is unfortunate. It's kind of part of the business. I guess I'm kind of used to it, so maybe I'm a little jaded. But you just, you know, you pick yourself up and you go back and try to pitch to another place. And then I wrote on Hood Adjacent for Comedy Central. I wrote on Black Jesus for Adult Swim. I had a TV deal with Adult Swim, 2 TV pilots. And that was just a great time. Good money, but you know, just didn't work out. But also I like digital too. Digital is fun. You can do whatever you want. I'm here in my kitchen with the ugliest of setups, but having a good time with you all. Making some wings, trying to get this oil hot. I actually have a pilot of that 21 sketch somewhere. I have to find it. It's on one of my burner YouTube accounts. Hey, let's just do a quick little recap real quick. So this is the sauce that we're making. And this is the rub that we had. Now, you don't have to put this on here. It's just a standard kind of rub. But you could just do salt, pepper, garlic. I actually have this. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I use a lot of, rubs. Where's my, oh. So like I'll use a lot of these rubs. Let me see if I can get a close up of it. I haven't used this shot in a while. Damn. I use a lot of rubs and stuff like that. I like using barbecue rubs because they're more coarse and they just have a little bit more love into it. There's nothing wrong with using a Mrs. Dash or Laurie's and stuff like that, but I tend to buy a lot of barbecue rubs because they're just crazy with the flavors. And then this other thing is something that I just kind of mass produce every few months. This is just all-purpose seasoning. It's salt, pepper, garlic, onion, and some MSG. Don't be afraid of MSG because it's it's good. It's not the MSG from the 90s that we were all terrified of. But maybe I'll put down the ratio that I have, but I put it on vegetables. Anytime I'm cooking and I don't feel like using that, I just come in here, grab some, sprinkle it on. It's really good and it keeps for a long time. John in the cupboard. Listen, I plan to explore this space a lot. Also, thank you all for beta testing with me, this whole thing. It seems like it's gone without a hitch. Although we're going to see if the file is recorded. That's going to be the big question next. Lost my train of thought. But like, I want to explore this space, have it open, so when I bring people in, we can be fun. If somebody wants to do something stupid like a push-up contest or whatever, like we have the room to do it. I want to have people come in and out and stuff like that. Like, I'm sure the next time I do this, people will be here. Oh, we're getting close to temperature. All right, I think we can get ready to pop this in just a minute. Yeah, we're at 337 right now. I want to be able to do, you know, working with Kai and the rest of A&P, it's like I like their flexibility to do whatever they want within their space and turn around into anything that their imagination wants it to be. So I want that to be the same thing for this, where like I'll have, you know, James and Elise, have Lindsay, Ryan, have Patrick and Charlotte, have everybody here Get some of my people that I used to work with, like Rick Fox, on. I had to move this camera so far back because he's so tall. Just have people just come in and just have a good time. But like people who are actually like are dope friends with, you know, and not just like I'm bringing them on for the clout. No shade for anybody doing that. Sometimes you got to stunt cast. But I would bring my friends on first before I start just delving into, you know, other things. My favorite unused spice. That's a good question. Here's my other cupboard with all the spices. I love basil. I really love basil, and I don't use it a lot. I have basil leaves here. Same thing with like chipotle powders, chili powders. Old Bay is really good. If you ever want to make some really good fries, Old Bay seasoning on them. Like it's so phenomenal, as well as just seafood, of course. But I think basil, because typically, anytime you tell me basil's in something, I'm on. So I don't even know the other ingredients. Like, give it to me. But I don't use my basil seasonings enough. I should before they expire. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, when we moved here, I had to throw away so many spices. Check your spices. They do expire. They do lose their potency. And there's nothing worse than being like, why is this onion powder not onioning? You don't want to do that. All right, I think we're just about there. I'm sweating, it's hot. Let's see. We are looking at 350, yeah, just about 350. Okay, so here's the most important thing about frying that I think a lot of people mess it up. And I have the luxury of having, take this off for a second. I have the luxury of having a gas stove, so I can crank heat almost instantly. Bay leaves, yes, sorry, I'm gonna lose my train of thought that fast. Bay leaves are amazing. I love bay leaves. People are like, I don't know what the thing is, the difference, but like, make some white rice, just white rice, water, and then make some white rice with water and put a bay leaf in it. It's a very subtle taste, but like it gives what I guess it would call complexity to it. It's just that thing like, I don't know quite what that is, but something's different about this. So bay leaves for sure. We're gonna go over to camera 3. There we go. Our oil is nice and hot. You can make good pesto with basil if it's almost expired. You know what is also good in pesto with basil? Some mint. It just adds a freshness to it that is really, really good. All right, we're gonna check our temperature one more time just to see we're dialing in. Yep, we're right at 350. Look at that. Pinpoint, I don't know if you can see it, but it's because it's upside down because I'm an idiot. Almost burned myself. So we're gonna go ahead and drop these in. Now, the most important thing about this process, let me get a glove so I don't officially burn myself. Sorry, I'm snotting and stuff in your guys' ears and whatnot. The most important thing we're gonna have to remember about this is we're gonna have to crank this heat up a lot, because as we drop this chicken in, don't worry, I'm still here with you. I'm just putting it in here so I don't splatter it on myself. Once we drop this chicken in, even though it's been at room temp, it's hydrated and all that stuff, it's going to drop the temperature of the oil by sometimes 50 degrees or 25 degrees. And we want to do as good of a job as we can to keep it at 350 so that it cooks evenly, because it's going to cook for like 10 to 15 minutes. Let's get, this is absurd. I just want to get as much as I can so I can plate this. There we go. One of the best things about chicken wings is that you can cook them to almost to hell, almost to hell. They get juicier the more you take them up in temperature. So that is why they are so amazing. All right, so we got our thing here of it. I'm gonna use my knuckle to go back over to this. And then we're just gonna drop these in. We're going to spread them out so we don't have a ball. I might have put too much oil in here. I put too much oil in here. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Don't worry, guys. I'm a professional. We're gonna turn that off so we don't set things on fire. See? What'd I tell you? We're gonna make mistakes. This is why I use a deep fryer. Goop, you're never gonna deep fry now because you just saw me do this and you just said it was intimidating. And I say, oh, it's so easy. It's so easy, right? You just do this. I actually tell you how I made this mistake. So I have a deep fryer that can hold 4 quarts of oil. My old deep fryer used to hold 3. And when I say my old deep fryer, literally the one that I got rid of last week for this new one, So when I poured the oil in here, I was just so used to pouring the whole container in, did not think about that. Did not think about that until just now. Rookie mistake. But we're all good. It's still cooking. Let's see where we're at here. What are the odds that it's still at 350 degrees? Great content, right? I got a lot of cleaning up to do. All right. So now that we're in there, we're at 330, so I am going to very gently pop our heat back on. I actually might move it over to the other eye. You know what's funny? I was sitting there thinking like this is going to be such a boring episode of Poor Choices, technically, because nothing's going to happen. It's going to be very straightforward and short. I don't want to set my house on fire, but wow, what a great mistake to make to prove the point that the whole purpose of these lives is going to be me doing things and making mistakes and adjusting. Now, imagine you did this at home. You'd be like, oh, I'm never deep frying again. I'm going to probably deep fry later today. I'm going to clean up all that oil and do it again because that was just me being an autopilot. It happens. Just like sometimes we put baking soda instead of baking powder. It happens. You know, you got to roll with the punches. Man. Right? You don't have to deal with this afterwards? Nah, it's all good. And that was not on purpose. That was a real mistake I made. Sometimes I wonder why people listen to me. Like I didn't go to culinary school. I don't have a restaurant. I've only worked a little bit in the restaurant biz. But y'all are here. You stick around. I will say the food is good, but sometimes don't listen to me. Do as I say, not as I do. No, this is still going to be good. Luckily I'm in this Dutch oven, so it's maintaining the heat actually really well. Let me see, what did I want this to be? It's funny because I'm actually not afraid to turn it to fry now because let's see. Here we go. Sorry, I just had to look up something real quick. Because now I know it's not going to spill over. Yeah, 10 to 12 minutes. All right, yeah, cool. All right, while that's frying away, let me get back to you guys. Imagine if I did this in front of like 20,000 people. Oh man, that clip would be on the internet before I even turn that eye off. Yeah, 15 Point Buck has it right. No, yeah. I mean, pretty much he has it there. I should just pin that comment. Again, autopilot. Like this morning was setting everything up. I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna grab my oil container and just put it in my Dutch oven like I normally do when I'm going back and forth between the deep fryer. Didn't even think for a second, oh, that oil is kind of high. What happens when I put it in there? Didn't even cross my mind. So I'm gonna blame the Seagram 7. Cheers, y'all. Cheers to me so far, not setting a fire. So far. We'll see if that changes. I'm actually probably gonna clip this. I'll be keeping a buck with you. Probably gonna clip it. I'm actually kind of curious. Let's go back over to 3. All right, let's see where our temperature's at right now. So we've dropped, actually no, we're at 300, just about. I think now we can very, very low flame. Luckily it didn't get on the actual eye itself, so that's a blessing. But as I was saying before I started panicking, what we are trying to just do is keep them separated. We don't want to put all the chicken wings in there. We don't want to crowd it. We want to give them all the space that they need. And again, just be prepared if you're not a moron like me to crank that heat up as soon as you drop it in, because it is going to drop by a lot. Not as much as it did when I had to turn the eye off, but it is going to drop by a lot. And again, you want to crank it up and maintain it. Now, that doesn't mean when you crank it up, it has to stay there. You kind of have to watch it, and that's why I keep probing it right there. You can also get a candy thermometer if you want to leave something in there to kind of constantly read it, but you're going to have to kind of lower it back down to a certain point. And also in between batches, you are going to have to let that oil come back at the temp. So if you take these out, give it a second, and then let it, give it like 5 minutes, and then you should be good again to put the stuff back in there. When you kept filling the ladle thing with the chicken, I was getting worried. Hey, you should have said something. No, I'm kidding. It just totally blanked. That could have been a costly mistake. So thank God it wasn't. I'm just gonna have a good time cleaning this up later. But yeah, shouldn't take too long. And chicken wings are really hard to overcook. Like chicken breast, you got such a small window. Like between, they say 165, but you could stop at like 155 and let it carry over. But you over 165, like you're gonna eat paper towels, essentially. It's gonna be super dry. Chicken thighs, you've got a lot more room. Chicken thighs, you can go up to like, chicken thighs, you can go up to 175, but you can take them up to 190 and they're still juicy. And chicken wings are actually, believe it or not, good at like real close to 200. That's when they just like fall right off the bone. They're just so perfect at that place. So don't be afraid about overcooking your chicken wings. We're gonna probe these and see where they're at in 3 minutes, although we might need a little bit more time just because we turned off our heat to prevent me from burning down this apartment that I've only been at for 3 months. But yeah, wow, that was crazy. It was even crazier. All morning, the only thing I kept going on in my head was make sure you tell people, turn the heat up when you put the stuff in. And I did more than turn the heat up. What do I cook on a boring day? Spaghetti. Now, honestly, if on a boring day, I meal prep a lot. I try to because, man, I love to eat. Obviously, I love to have drinks. This gut has, been following me for the last few years. So I try to eat as healthy as I can during the week. So like tomorrow I'll meal prep and I'll probably do like a healthy pork stir fry, like a ground pork that's very lean, some vegetables, some rice. It'll come in at like 600 calories, lots of protein. So I do stuff like that. Or again, spaghetti. Or I experiment. I just try things I haven't done before. I actually want to try these. I was writing it down the other day. I think it's birria egg rolls. I think I was going to try to experiment with. I haven't gotten around to it. It's still early in the day. Maybe I try that. What up, y'all? And Goop, actually, that is an interesting. I think there is something to do with the fat content of it. Because the thing about, so anytime you've ever had something that's nice and juicy, it is fat. Fat gives us the perception of juiciness. So if you have a juicy burger, that's the fat in it. You have juicy steak, it's the fat that's in it, also just being perfectly cooked. So I want to say that probably is the case when it comes to the chicken wings. Let's look at the chicken wings real quick. See how we're looking. Let me get this. Actually, I'm gonna keep this glove over here. Oh, let's see. They're floating. That's a good sign. Spaghetti, Kraft cheese, and butter. I love me a good Italian meal. I know that's not Italian, but that's where my brain went. Mac and cheese is also one of my favorites. That's actually what I'm looking forward to making this weekend. And if you haven't yet, I always say his name wrong. J. Kinsey Lopez Alt. He has a great wing just cooking technique where you do essentially 2 cooks. You do a very, very low one just to render the fat, and then you do another one to actually crisp them up. And when I tell you, it is some of the crispiest wings you'll ever have without having to have crazy amounts of breading on it. Really, really good. It is a lengthy process because you have to do an initial cook for like 20 minutes at a super low temp. Then you gotta wait like an hour or 2, and then you cook it again. But it's a labor of love. It's really, really good. A broken meal I really love, and some no bean chili, spaghetti noodles, and chili cheese. Isn't that Cincinnati chili? Right? They do serve over the pasta? Or am I making that up? It sounds very similar to the Cincinnati chili. What up, Charming Hat? What's good, y'all? Also, by the way, I think I said this on Twitter once, but appreciate all of y'all who have followed and watched the videos, because I know you're probably not into cooking content, or not so much that you would just follow a stranger, but I appreciate the support, because you could ignore me and just said, Funhouse is done, I'm not gonna do it, but you support me, and I really, really appreciate that. Let me put this vinegar away. Really appreciate that. because I know me, like I go through my subs all the time and clean them up and every now and then. So I never even take it offensive if someone has to unsubscribe or stops watching me. But you have a choice. The internet is infinite. All right, we're gonna take one of these out and just see what they are. Dr. Butthugger, MD. I love shouting out these names, by the way. That's the thing. Like I only follow cooking channels. I don't follow any gaming things except for Funhouse and now Astro Goblin. All right, let's see. It's been 10 minutes. I feel like we can go a little bit longer. These are temping at actually 195, 198. We're good. All right, that's perfect. And again, don't panic if they suddenly shoot up over 200. It's not going to end. It's only going to end if you actually just if they're just burnt black. Then you might have something to worry about. All right, I'm gonna reset this real fast. Let's go back to main cam. Let's see. Let's get a paper towel. So one of the things that we have to remember, we just worked really hard to get our skin crispy. No way do we wanna mess that up. So I'm gonna put this wire rack over a paper towel instead of putting these directly on a paper towel. If we put these directly onto a paper towel, it is going to steam and ruin our crispiness. Now, maybe not so much for these because we don't have a crazy coating, but if you're thinking like KFC style wings and stuff like that, I'm actually gonna put it over this bowl just so I don't get this here. Something where you want that extra crispiness, you are going to ruin it. And again, not the end of the world, but like really good food is all about the eating experience. It's having that perfect texture, that perfect tenderness. And also, you spent money, like you don't want to mess this up. You want somebody to be like, yo, Rolligan made really good wings. All right, we got one more wing in here. So we're just putting them on here just to let the excess oil dry. And it's not gonna be long. We just want it so we're not mixing oil with our sauce. Look at that, let's see, let's go to 2. Let's go to 2, camera 2, go to view. Let's see. Hey, culinary school, look at you. I'm proud of you. I want to go to culinary school, but I feel like it's too late for me. Let's see. Wire racks, yes, like 10 bucks, if that. You could probably go to Ross or something, or one of those places that has like hand-me-down type goods. I just want to make sure this gets back up the temp and get them. But they come in handy for more than just this, obviously cookies and stuff like that. And it's just a good thing to have. Now, let me be a responsible adult. We're gonna pop our first batch of wings in here. And we're gonna sauce these puppies. Chickens. I don't wanna think about cooking my dog. All right, we got that. Let's get a little bit of our sauce. It hasn't broken yet, which is great. A little bit goes a long way, so we're just gonna go pow like that. And then we'll adjust and see if we need more. By the way, this is a separate wire rack, just in case you missed me doing a switcherooning. I did not put the chicken, oh man, that looks so amazing. I did not put the chicken back on the raw chicken rack. The raw chicken rack is obviously right there. You know how people don't be paying attention? They'll watch a video, completely miss something that you say, and then be like, you didn't do this. I'm like, yeah, I did. It's literally in the first 45 seconds. All right, we got our wings. Let's do a little bit of plating. Man, I wish I had some things to plate this with. A little garnish, just to make it look fancy for the thumbnail. That's like half the times how I choose what I'm gonna cook. It's like, ooh, can I make that look good? All right, don't mind me. I'm just doing so many weird things. So many weird things because I'm so used to being in the kitchen by myself. All right. Our wings are done. We are going to for sure try them. But I'm happy with that. Where did I put this at? I'll put this over here. I can't wait to make the next batch and not burn my kitchen down. Let's see. Where's this at? Hey, look at that. And that, my friends, is our wings. And if you want to know what the sauce is, it was the Buffalo Blue sauce. I got this idea No, this is a buffalo blue sauce. So we got blue cheese mixed into this buffalo sauce, best of both worlds. I suppose you could do ranch as well, but blue cheese just has an extra funkiness to it that really, really goes well with this. Idea was inspired by Buffalo Wild Wings. I literally just tried this flavor for the first time like 2 weeks ago, and I was just blown away. And I say this as someone who's not the biggest blue cheese fan. Like, I can take it in moderation. So take that for what it's worth. I'm not just like telling you, you gotta have blue cheese. Cause even sometimes I'm not like, I don't want blue cheese, but phenomenal sauce. Let's see, let's get back in here on here. Yeah, because this might end up being like a thumbnail of some sorts. But one of the cool things about it is it also lightens up the sauce. I mean, look at it, like you're typically like a deeper red, but this is like really, really good color. I'm gonna take a picture of this. Don't mind me, y'all. Actually, yeah, y'all watch me take pictures of this. I'm actually gonna take a picture of the whole setup. Boom. Plating is very, very hard. But it's actually my favorite part of cooking because you eat with your eyes. And so getting someone to see, that's not good, I'm blocking the light. See what you, to see and taste something. There we go. Now you guys can see my phone. I'm probably gonna hate half of these photos. All right, no, I wanna be an adult and not burn my tongue. And I'm gonna wait 3 minutes before I eat this. Because I almost burned down that. I can at least not burn the inside of here. Yeah, I would love to give you all some tips. Yeah, I'll totally do that. I always mean to, there's so many things happening at the last minute of a video that I sometimes forget to go through that, but I can totally do that for you. One of the hardest things I run into when I'm doing the videos is like trying to preserve the freshness of it while everything's looking juicy and steaming and whatnot, capturing that from all the different angles and then still tasting it before it turns cold. It happens quite a bit, but I'll definitely can go through some plating tips. This, I mean, some celery, carrots on the side would be good. Another thing of like blue cheese would be good. Like if I was trying to take a picture, something like this. Wait, can I get in here? Yeah, there we go. This actually might just be the thumbnail and just have the ingredients on it. Maybe I shouldn't have my gut in this photo, but I don't care. You gotta love yourself, right? Love who you are. And strive to be who you wanna be. All the chefs I've ever worked with say the same thing about plating. Yeah, I mean, plating is so hard. It really is like the art. That is where you are really painting on the canvas right now. Sorry, I'm actually just recording this for the thumbnail. I wasn't joking. That actually kind of works out. Carrots belong to stew soup. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really care for carrots. They've never been a thing for me. I'll put them in stuff because nutrients and, you know, it's supposed to be good for your eyes and all that stuff. Bugs Bunny eats them and whatnot. But like, I really don't care for them. They've never wowed me, but maybe I haven't had carrots done the proper way. So I'm always open to that experience. They just don't do nothing for me. But I'm also like, I don't really care for celery either. But I'll put celery in like a stock or something just because, sorry, I had to make sure that wasn't setting on fire. Because it does add something, but eh. And you know what's crazy? The last time I just ate carrots, I was at a like an industry networking event, and I was so out of my element because it was like just like a lot of big names there, and I was trying to impress, and so like I just nervously grabbed some carrots and a ranch and started eating it, and that actually helped break the ice with somebody because they're like, "Man, are those carrots really good?" And I was like, "I don't like carrots," as I'm sitting here chewing it. So that was my moment to kind of just break the ice with people, but not with wings. I get that. Let's see. I want to eat this so bad. Fuck it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Sorry for y'all who don't know that I cuss quite often and you're watching this maybe with kids in the background. I apologize. Oh, yeah. Sorry that you're hearing me chew. Hopefully it's not high quality chewing. This is always the hardest part. Like, I would love to eat my food on camera, After like 200 videos, if every time I go, oh my God, this is so good, like the novelty wears off. But this is really, really good. I do think I'm gonna eat all 2 pounds. Yeah, this is really, really good. It's super simple to make. I mean, aside from almost burning down, I mean, even almost burning down the thing, it wasn't that difficult to do. And had I not been doing the live stream and kind of, you know, digging around and whatnot, could probably got this done in like 35, 40 minutes, like I said. But I've had a good time with you all. Oh man. I want to end this stream soon because I want to eat the rest of this, but I don't want to make you hear me chew. Although somebody out there has ASMR for chewing. Okay, confirm. Absolutely delicious. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's absolutely going down for the rest of the day. And I got some fries. Hell yeah. I got some frozen French fries, and I'm about to put Old Bay seasoning on them. Thank you, Jesus, or Jesus. Listen, I would love to be on camera more. I miss doing the intros the way that I used to do them. It's just time. It's just time. I love the work that I do now at A&P, but it eats up a lot of time during the week, or it just stresses me out. I'm also in a smaller place, so I don't have as much room for all my stuff. Like even right now, I'm kind of cramped. But I'm trying to find a way to be on camera more. That's why I want to do this. I'm gonna do a couple of these. Well, I don't know what my plan is. I'm gonna do live streams every now and then, like on Fridays. Then I'll do some like for longer recipes, like cook with me in real time. Like, hey, just put me on the TV. Let's make this thing together in real time. Pretty much like this was today, but less filler of me interacting with you all, if that's something that you would like. There's something for everybody. Again, the short videos I mentioned at the beginning that people just who want to cook in real time or cook fast can have. These lives are fun, and then cook with me. I'm trying to give you all more content instead of just one video a week. Because man, I would love to make this full-time job. I don't have to make a lot of money. Don't even care about fame. My last 20 years I've been on the internet. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. I just like making cool stuff like this. So, actually, so let me just show you this. Let me take this off. So, like, I would love a rest of a kitchen island here. That would be great if whoever made this place would have done that. I don't know why they didn't. But yeah, I'm gonna figure out some stuff because I wanted to be a better mood that's kind of going on here. Right now it's very flat, but I'll figure it out. Today was really just testing all this out, and it seems like everything went great. Everything went great. Nothing bad happened. It was perfect. The perfect show. Perfect show. I am so perfect. But hey, I appreciate y'all kicking it with me. What's up, Freakinator? Watching your videos, the most food videos. This is actually how I read out loud. Yeah, I'm trying to please people. Some people don't want to hear me talk forever. This one guy who watched the steak video. It was 20 minutes long. He was like, "You talk too much." I'm like, "Bro, steak takes 5 minutes to cook. What did you think when you clicked on a 20-minute video? The rest of the 15 minutes is going to be." But I'm trying to find something for everybody. I'm trying to figure it out. But hey. Appreciate you all tuning in. I'm gonna try to clip this down. I'm gonna try to put me almost setting my kitchen on fire into a clip to promote the next stream. I don't know when the next stream will be just because 4th of July is coming up. I want to do these on Friday nights because I feel like that's just going to be a better time for everyone to kind of chill and vibe out with me. But I'll let you know, the next one I do will be like a bigger production. Like I'm gonna try to get Ryan on. I really want to try to get him to make beef Wellington. I think that's gonna be really, really fun. Or dangerous. It could be this all over again. I don't know. But otherwise, hey, appreciate you all. I'll run through the whole spiel again. Poor Choices Kitchen. We've got a Patreon link down in the description. $1 a month is all we ask for to pay for recipes in these here inflated times. And these times are getting quite inflated. And there's YouTube memberships. Those are $2.99 because YouTube likes to take their cut. Both just go a long way in helping pay for these recipes, the cleaning supplies, all the equipment and gear as I continue to upgrade and try to bring more content and joy and just vibing out with you guys. I hope to do more things, especially for all of you who are supporting now, like for members. I got a plan. I just need to make sure I don't burn out because burnout is very, very real. Juggling a full-time job and then trying to do this. So there's a plan in place and I look forward to sharing it with you. But until next time, I'll holler at y'all. Let's see. I don't have an outro for this. Hey, let's just go back to the, nope. We're just going to fade to black. All right, y'all. Peace.